live from Austin, Texas. It's the Mankheads podcast.
I'm live from... It doesn't have the same ring if it doesn't have two syllables. Well, Austin is two syllables, but it's like
from Austin. It's not two words.
It's the Mankheads podcast. No, wait, that's not the right. Is that right?
And then it's like pictures of Diego.
Yeah, I've made having the most handsome cat in the world my whole personality.
He's over there.
He's over there chilling.
We can post a picture of him on
I'll insert a little photo of him.
Yeah.
My sister gave me this shirt for my birthday. It's pretty cute.
I've made this is not my personality, but I'm running out of like hoodies and stuff to wear. I almost wore the exact same thing that I wore last time, and until Kazan said that was what I wore, and I was like, okay.
Yeah, he only knew because he was just looking at the footage too. All right, so welcome back to the Mankheads podcast. You're here with your hosts Emma,
Diego,
and this week we're talking about what we're binging. This is the second in a new series of episodes called Tastemankers.
Yeah.
And this is what we're binging.
We are binging. Yeah.
Tastemankers Volume 2.
Emma, what are you binging? Oh,
fuck. Wait, hot take. We always mess. Okay. Hold on a minute.
Okay. I can have a hot take.
I thought of something really good the other day, and then I didn't write it down like an idiot.
Back in the day, I was always writing down hot takes. Like as soon as I'd have a hot take, I was going in the hot takes.
You need to get back in the habit of it. Hot take.
Yeah, when are you just saying that?
I was just saying it hoping something would come to me. It didn't happen.
We'll get to the hot take soon. Maybe. Or we won't. It's our show. Get your own.
Yeah, get your own.
What are you binging?
Hot take. Lone Star tastes like piss. Okay.
Oh. Well, yeah, I think it's kind of true.
You were going to argue it and you were like...
Listen, Lone Star... Look, I always say the same thing, that there are 3 tiers of Texas beers, all right? There's the top tier is craft breweries, you got your IPAs and stuff like that. Carbach has a lot of those really craft, really crazy craft beers and stuff like that. One of the most famous ones, Hopadillo, right? Second tier is Shiner. All right, Shiner is
very solid, middle of the road.
Middle of the road. It's a really good beer,
This is a Shiner house.
This is a Shiner house, by the way. Sponsor us, Shiner Beers, Spetzel Brewery. Please, Shiner. Please sponsor us. And then bottom tier is if you're broke and you still want to drink Texas beers, you drink Lone Star. So this guy, Lonies. But yeah, no, you're right. It is probably it's pretty piss beer, but it's close and dear to my heart.
Yeah.
I don't have a hot take, so maybe I'll think of one on the way.
Yeah. Okay.
So we can jump into the episode.
What I'm binging, personally, I just finished Girls. It was a rewatch. I was on a rewatch. It was my second full watch of that show. I think the first time I watched it was fully over COVID 2020 lockdown. So it was nice to revisit it. There was a lot of stuff I didn't remember about the show. Honestly, big plot points. I was just totally forgot, and then was watching it. I was
no
all over
way.
Again. So that was kind of fun. It was weird to be reminded of how much I actually really liked that show, how funny and clever it is, despite how much I dislike Lena Dunham, which I think we mentioned in the sitcoms episode. But yes, I've been watching Girls. Finally finished it, which honestly, it's I'm saying finally finished it because it's you get to season 4 and it is no longer fun. It is no longer a good old time with the girls. Sad. It's just depressing. So it was I felt I'm good to get over it. Unfortunately.
Yeah, I hadn't seen it. My only experience with it was the occasional episode that I would catch with you, and I really liked it. I really enjoyed it. Part of me wants to go in and do a watch of my own.
Yeah, fuck it.
I feel I've probably seen maybe a third of the entire series.
You've seen a lot.
Yeah, at least a third, maybe close to half. I don't think half, but a good chunk of it. So it might make it easier just if I get to an episode that I've already seen, skip or something like that.
Yeah, true.
Yeah. No, I think it's really good. I've been also kind of really wanting to find another good dramedy, a half-hour show that's easy to binge through, but also will like isn't just like, you know, your typical like you know, A plot, B plot sitcom, everything's wrapped up. The next episode is like, you know, it's not like something that's not or that's episodic and not like serialized. Like Girls very much is serialized, you know. And a lot of like I was thinking about this just like the other day actually. I don't think there's like a big like network sitcom anymore. Like I think like the last of those were like the NBC ones at like the beginning of the 2010s, you know.
Okay.
I think maybe like Brooklyn Nine-Nine maybe was the last one. The last big like network sitcom.
Now that Modern Family ended in 2020, like that's done. Yeah.
Brooklyn Nine-Nine just wrapped. And I'm like, I don't know what the like new like hit sitcom is.
Yeah, I don't know.
That one a lot of people watch, and that two like is critically acclaimed and stuff, you know, or like that does well in like award circles and that kind of thing.
Abbott Elementary.
Abbott Elementary was the other thing, and that was the new one. Because what is that on Fox?
Actually, I'm not sure.
Because like I mean, if it's not network, then that just means like shifting of the times. I don't think a lot of network TV is like the like premiere thing anymore. Obviously not. You know.
Well, no, it's all streaming now. Streaming is where it's at. Actually, is Abbott Elementary on HBO?
Abbott Elementary, I think it's on. Hulu.
Oh, it's on Hulu. Okay, I was like, where did I recently see it?
Oh, it's on HBO as well.
Yeah, okay. But it's not an HBO show?
I think it's on ABC. Yeah, it is. It's on ABC.
Okay, it's on
ABC.
ABC.
That is a network show. Okay,
yeah,
well then there you go.
Yeah, there you go. There you have it then.
Good. I'm glad.
We're not watching that, but...
We're not watching that, no. I kind of want to, though. I feel like I've heard like some, like, I've heard, obviously it won, like a few Golden Globes and stuff like that. So I'm like, okay, maybe I'll, like, go into it.
I mean, I know it's different than shows like The Big Bang Theory, but, like, I know I already said this. I just had, like, I tried to watch it over the summer a little bit, and it just had very, like, networky vibes, and I was just like, I don't really like this. So it just wasn't for me.
I might give it a try.
Yeah, go for it. Maybe I didn't, like, watch enough of it, honestly, to let it find its groove and, like, get better, too, you know?
Speaking of networky stuff, I totally forgot about this until right now. I didn't even put it in our little, like, folder thing.
Okay.
The season premiere of How I Met Your Father just came out.
Oh God! Have you watched it?
Yeah, I watched the first season.
Okay,
yeah.
and
I mean, it's like dumb, but it's like cute. I don't know. Okay. It's like, you know.
Well, yeah.
It's like a guilty pleasure watch for me. You know, I don't think it's like.
What I would expect, I guess.
I don't think it's like it's nothing great. And like, if anything, like if the original series came out right about now, I probably would feel the same way about it. But I mean, like, it came out in a time when like that's how TV was. You know? And it's like still like very like dear to my heart, very nostalgic.
Yeah.
And same thing with this. You know, it gives me like a lot of the same like vibes of that. It's like much like. Young people, single, you know.
Is it Hilary Duff?
Hilary Duff.
Okay, that's right. She's like not young anymore, but no, she's like fine.
I mean, younger people.
Yeah.
But she's not like 20, but she's I think the show she may be like 30 or something like that.
30 or something. Yeah. I think she's probably like closer to 40.
Probably.
Is my guess. Not that it matters. Give geriatric women jobs, please.
Kidding. She's 35.
She's not geriatric. I'm kidding. But
I was like, I'm not gonna touch
actually,
that.
at 35, you are considered a geriatric mother. So isn't that like cringe for us? Like, yeah, men can just keep having children until they're like 80 fucking years old. But like, as soon as I'm 35, I'm a geriatric mother.
Men can be, or anyway, I guess
not fucking crazy.
You can be the president. That's the minimum age you're supposed to be for, or you can be for the president. But you're geriatric if you're a woman or a mother. So yeah, that was like one thing that I've been watching. The first episode came out, had a bit of a cameo from someone from the original cast.
Ooh.
So.
Ooh. I'm probably not gonna watch it. But
Parker came in when I was watching it, and he was like, "Oh, what's this?" And I was like, "It's How I Met Your Father." He was like, "Is it any good?" I was like, "Not really, but you know, I'm watching it."
But you know,
and then the like cameo happened, and we were like, "Oh!" Yeah.
So me and Kazan are watching Game of Thrones right now. That's our show right now. What are we on, season 5?
Season 4.
Season 4?
Unless you went through season 4 already.
No, season 4 then.
Okay.
I was getting it mixed up because I was on like season 4, season 5 of Girls at the same time, but then I quickly surpassed like with Girls because I was just binging the shit out of that.
Yeah.
But yeah, we're at a good place. Big trial happening in King's Landing. I I guess I don't want to say too much. I'm like, how much do I spoil about a show that's been out for like a million years though, actually?
It's a 10-year show, honestly. I'm like, I think the statute of limitations probably passed, but I mean, if you don't want to then.
Yeah. Well, we're at the point where Tyrion, the actual best character in the entire show, just in case anyone was wondering, like, if there's any debate, like, that's the answer. It's Tyrion. He's been accused of murdering his nephew and is going to trial for that. And we're going to have a trial by combat, which we're waiting to watch that episode for Deekster to be there because he wants to watch it. It's a good episode. It's a fire episode.
It's a great episode.
Speaking of Pedro Pascal, who is in this season of Game of Thrones.
He's Tyrion's champion.
Yes.
For trial by combat.
Yeah.
Didn't even mention Pedro Pascal. Yeah. Speaking of that guy that we didn't mention.
That I didn't mention. We're watching The Last of Us.
Yeah, we are.
We actually are not caught up. We have only watched episode 1. But
we've been so goddamn busy, man.
Yeah, we've actually been doing a lot lately. So.
We've been doing a lot, like for like this show and for other stuff too, and like we just have a lot of like projects and stuff like in the air. So we're like, okay, when are we be able to find time to watch?
We keep trying to schedule. So, okay, so like Friday night, like Saturday night.
Yeah, we're gonna have to like actually like schedule like.
Yeah, we're actually gonna have to like put it on the goddamn calendar. Like,
so like, yeah.
Yeah, I'll send you a Google Calendar invite. Like, how about that? For watching The Last of Us.
Yeah, we watched the first episode.
I enjoyed the first episode thoroughly. So you already know the story.
I mean, I know like the like bigger beats and stuff like that, but like I'm kind of like, I don't know. I'm kind of like you with the girls where I like just forgot a lot about it because I think I never played the video game. I was never a PlayStation. Me neither. I was an Xbox guy.
I was a no video game guy. My parents said no. So I had a Wii.
So I was an Xbox guy, played a lot of Halo and stuff, but everyone was raving about Last of Us and I felt left out, so I just watched like playthroughs and stuff on YouTube. And I like, consumed the story and I was like, oh wow, that's crazy, that was really good. And then I just like forgot about it over the course of the last like 8-10 years or something like that. So now I'm like kind of like low-key going in blind and it's pretty awesome. Yeah. I'm like, man, I don't remember shit. This is awesome.
I am fully going in blind. Like it was such a phenomenon. Of course I've heard of it and I knew that people loved it. But I had no idea what the plot was like at all. So
it's like,
and it's also starring another Game of Thrones. She's not in where we are yet, but she's what is she? A Frey?
She's
not a Frey. She's a Tully, isn't she?
I think.
Wait,
so.
no, she's not a.
She's not a Frey for sure.
I literally have no idea what she is actually.
What's her name? Something Ramsey. Bella Ramsey. Right?
Yes. Yeah.
Bella Ramsey. Game of Thrones. Wow, she was really young in Game of Thrones, I guess, because she's only 19.
Yeah, she was just a kid.
Yeah. I'm not. Go ahead and vamp. I need to like find it or like talk more about Last of Us.
I don't really have that much to say besides just like I'm enjoying it and I'm excited to see where it goes.
Yeah.
Story's pretty relevant. I feel like now where we are. So
with like COVID and shit. Yeah. I mean, like the interesting thing about this is like The Last of Us versus like other like I guess it's pretty like in its core it's a zombie thing, but like the like zombies in the show I guess the video game the story they're born of fungal infection that like alters the like chemistry of the brain and like turns its hosts into like violent I don't know. Yeah, zombies.
Yeah,
I guess.
It like doesn't kill them. It just like uses them, but then it like eats them from the inside. So eventually it does kill them.
It eventually does kill them, and I think they do eat other like pretty much like anything that they can get their hands on because the like there was a this isn't a spoiler because it's right at the beginning of the pilot. It starts off with like a TV interview of these two like biologists or like epidemiologists or something like that.
Very Don't Look Up.
Yeah, honestly. Yeah, it kind of is. Or it starts off with like an old like and it's like from the 60s too and like I guess like but and they're talking about like, oh yeah, there's no like threat of like a pandemic, one of them says, or like we'll be able to like, stop
like,
it.
No, it can't infect humans.
It can't infect like the pandemic it's not, or like at least a catastrophic pandemic won't happen because like XYZ. And the other guy is like, yeah, that's true. Pandemic as we know it. I'm not scared of like bacteria and shit like that, or viruses. I am scared of fungi. And he talks about how like the fungus needs to like have or like have energy to like or have the host keep consuming energy, otherwise the fungus will die. So eventually like it does kill them if they can't like find enough food or something like that.
Yeah, there were some visuals of the like a fungal ridden body that really reminded me of Annihilation.
Yeah, it did. And like I think like one of the things that they had was like this one's like finished or something like that, and it's just like the person that was infected like just splayed out on a wall, and the fungus
like growing out
from them.
Yeah.
It's like that's like a really unique concept, and like the visuals in the game were just as haunting as well, and just as like almost like perversely like beautiful location.
Yeah, of course.
It's like shit, like this is kind of crazy.
Yeah,
and then
that's how I felt like watching Annihilation too. It was just like this is not correct. Like something's not quite right, but it's gorgeous. Like it's really beautiful and intriguing. You want to keep looking at it.
Yeah, no, but I'm really excited to keep watching it. We'll eventually get to it.
I've been saying this for like a couple of years, but it's like it's the era of the miniseries. Like it just is. This is a miniseries, right? Or is it going to be a series?
I'm not sure. Kevin, do you happen to know if Last of Us is going to be a miniseries or are they going to continue on? They might continue on.
Games, I think they'll do 2 seasons.
I think, yeah.
It'd be beautiful if they just stopped at that, though. Like, that would be awesome. I love a limited series. That's like how it's done. That's how you get quality content now.
It's been too successful for them to do that. I think they're going to do a season 2.
I think they'll, yeah.
No,
you stopped after season 2.
But I'm like, if you stop after season 2, that'd be a serve.
Well, I mean, like,
it's like nowhere to stop.
I think. Well, Craig Mazin, the showrunner of The Last of Us, he also did Chernobyl.
Okay, and that was
a miniseries, 5 episodes, and it was a short miniseries too.
And it was great. And it was fantastic, I say that I didn't finish it. I was a little too traumatized after watching like 2 episodes, and I was like, I don't really know if I really want to see this.
Did you stop after like the part where they went down into like the water and stuff? Because that was terrifying.
I don't remember if I saw that. I'm gonna be honest. I remember seeing the firefighters in the hospital and just being I'm good. Yeah. Like I think I'm okay.
There was a scene that was like one of the scariest things I've seen in my life in that show, where like they have some people like go down into like the sewers of it, like that's like in all this like infected ass like water or something, or not infected but like radioactive water, and they have to like shut off a pipe or something like that so like someone can like do something, and it's just like pitch dark with like flashlights, and then like the flashlights start going out and like the water starts like pumping in more or something like that, and they're like about to drown or something, and then the episode cuts off, and I'm like,
yeah, I don't think I saw that one. I don't think I made it that far.
Fantastic television though. But I was my original point was going to be like, that was I think one of the most successful like HBO programs for such a short run that it was. And I think it was like that one of like the highest like rated series since like Breaking Bad at the time. So I mean, hopefully like, you know, it's not one of those things where they overstay their welcome. I think 2 seasons would be pretty awesome too. Yeah, I don't know. We'll see like where like this season or like just the series in general goes. There's only 2 episodes out right now, and we've only seen one of the 2. So
don't spoil anything for us.
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, we're mostly talking about HBO because, as we all know, Emma thinks that HBO is the king of television, and they make all the best content. I just wanted to say one more thing about Girls. Just going back to that for a second, like. Okay, watching that when I was like a sophomore in college, and then watching it again when I've like just graduated from college, like totally changes the meaning of like so much of it. And I'm like, damn, I'm gonna watch it again in like 5 years, and it's gonna have like totally new meaning.
I was gonna say, I was watching the first few episodes. Like I went back and watched those after like I started watching a little bit of it with you, and I was like, man, like it's like they're like 23, 24 in like the first
mid-20s,
season. Like
just out of college, except for Shoshana.
Yeah, and I'm like, damn, they're like literally me.
No, it's like they're
I'm the girls,
just like me for real.
Yeah.
And it was nice to like have a little visit with them because I like don't have that many friends anymore. Like that's like kind of sad to say, but like graduating and just like I've got friends in other cities and my family and like sister in other cities, and like I don't really have that many close girlies here. I've been realizing over the past couple of months. So it was kind of nice to drop into their friend group for a little bit, I'll say. So another HBO show that we've been watching, I know you haven't really been watching, although you watched some yesterday, is High Maintenance. Also another one of my like favorite shows of all time. I haven't said that about anything else that we've been talking about actually, but it's one of my favorite shows of all time, High Maintenance. And I'm like, we didn't talk about it in the sitcoms episode, but like it's one of those ones that like breaks the form in a really fun and interesting way because it, you know, we talked about them having like the set characters and whatever. And this is an anthology series with pretty much one recurring character throughout all the episodes. And then some people like will come back once in a while, or like there's some threads that get followed. It's all about this like drug dealer in New York who doesn't have a name. He's just the guy. He rides his bike. And the guy who plays the guy is one of the creators of the show. And yeah, you just kind of see his like interactions with odd, mismatched, whatever, like random citizens of New York. Sometimes he's like hardly in the episode. It's more about like the people that you're dropping in on for like one day of their lives. And it's really funny and like can be very profound sometimes. And I love it. It's a great show.
I need to watch more of it. I haven't seen shit. Y'all watched a little bit of it the other night when I was out.
We somehow like already made it to season 2, by the way. Also, so this is a show that started as a web series and then was picked up.
It started on
Vimeo. And got funded to make like 10 episodes on Vimeo or something, or 6 episodes or something, and then eventually got picked up by HBO. We can watch the web series episodes on HBO as well, so we should totally do that.
We should
get some inspo for Subletter.
Yeah.
I've been binging Subletter lately. Don't know if you've heard of it, but you
might not have heard of it.
You can look it up. You can actually watch 2 episodes of it on the Mankheads YouTube channel.
You can watch the 2-ish episodes. They're like the first like
they're kind of they're 2 different iterations of the same episode.
Yeah, very much like I would say like proof of concept, but there wasn't really much of a concept when we first made those. It was more just like
concept was funny guys.
Funny dudes. So yeah, you can check it out on the Mankheads YouTube channel, same channel that this is on. So if you're watching it here, you can just scroll down a little bit and boop, there you go.
There it is.
Subletter.
Sublet her. Yeah, I don't have any other shows to talk about.
I don't really either. I've been watching too many shows. I guess to like mention it, I just started like going through King of the Hill like chronologically, because I'd only ever seen like like the episodes that I saw on syndication, and I was like, oh man, awesome, Texas.
Awesome.
So I'm gonna like go through it and be like, all right, I'm gonna do my due diligence. Plus it's a really funny show.
I think about on the different side of the same coin. I've never watched Dallas. And it's like, that's a huge Texas show.
Yeah.
And I know it's like a soap opera, but I'm kind of like, I don't know. I kind of want to watch it just for funsies.
I feel like, I don't even know what I would like expect of it low key, because it's like 80s drama or 70s.
Yeah,
80s
I'm not going to go
television.
in with any expectations. And let's be real, I'm probably like not going to like it that much. But I just feel like for the culture, I should watch it.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're gonna throw in some other random stuff besides what we're binging. I mean, I think reading is binging to a degree anyway. I did kind of binge the shit out of this one. So I just finished this. Oh, I feel like my arms look really like awkward doing that. I don't know if that's gonna focus on that at all. But Homesick for Another World by Otessa Moshfegh.
I don't know.
That's the same author that wrote My Year of Rest and Relaxation, which I loved. I read that at the end of 2021, actually, I think. And yeah, Homesick for Another World is a collection of short stories that came out like about a year before that book. Interesting. You can see some of the like threads or like seeds being sown for what would become My Year of Rest and Relaxation.
I was gonna say that's usually like how like the stuff goes, like a collection. Or I guess I should ask, was this like her first published thing?
That's a great question. I don't know.
Okay, well, I was gonna say, because like a lot of times like you'll have like an author publish a collection of short stories as like all right, let's see what you can do, and then that'll come out.
No, her debut novel Eileen.
Don't
know what that one is.
Okay. Well, nonetheless, a lot of times like a short story collection will precede like a bigger like full length novel, and like that's what happened with or that's what one of my favorite writers, Juba Lahiri, did. She published a collection of short stories in like 1999, won the fucking Pulitzer Prize, and then like publishers gave her like a blank check pretty much, and she came out with her biggest like novel, and like since then and to date, the Namesake. Which is like a very popular title, movie made out of it.
Yeah,
that she
I've
was also
seen in the
attached
movie.
to.
I have not read the book.
I have not seen the movie, which I really want to, and I probably brought this up a while back, anyways. But still, I just sort of want to that was just like my little like addition to that.
Yeah. It was great. I don't know. I think you kind of have to like morbidly humorous things, because like there's a lot about the world that she situates her characters in and just the characters themselves that is just awful. Like, it's grating almost to read sometimes. Especially the first couple of stories, I'll be honest. It was like about 3 or 4 stories in where I was like, okay, this is picking up. And then from there, I felt like it got almost better with each story. But it's like, it's a dark, sad place, this world and these people. And they're all kind of just like twisted, and like it's scary and sad because it's true, though. It's kind of one of those things where it's like, yeah, this is just like the dark crevices of the human psyche and like where you can go with that. But yeah,
I really do love
great.
like a good short story collection. I don't know. I view short story collections as kind of like almost like a LP, an album or something like that. You know.
Okay. Yeah.
Like,
no. Totally.
Right,
a little sample, little sampling, little taste test.
Like, and like you can like like read like a short story, just like you can like play a song from like one album without having to like consume the whole thing. But if you consume the whole thing, it's also really interesting to see how that works together as a whole. So I'm like, oh man.
Yeah, really I definitely noticed an arc there where it's like, I don't know if I just got used to how terrible everything was in the stories, or if like. Yeah, because I'm like, was I just becoming more sympathetic towards your characters, or like, did they get better? Yeah. Because at a point, I was like, this doesn't seem as terrible as it did like the first couple of stories. Clearly, I couldn't put it down though. Like, I kept reading it. I finished the whole damn thing.
It could also be one of those things you just have to like learn the language of the text.
Yeah. And I got to the point where I was like laughing at stuff. Yeah. Because at first I was just like, ugh. Oh. But I got to the point, there was this story, I remember it was The Weirdos, is what that story was named, where I was like, I finally was like finding the humor in it. Okay, what about you? What are you reading?
So I've been reading this book that I got for Christmas from my father. Well, some of it. It's a collection of novels from Cuban-American author Oscar Iwelos. And I've been reading from it. It's the first novel in the book called Our House in the Last World. And my father, I actually hadn't heard of Oscar Iwelos before getting this book. My father got it for me because it's the first Latin American author or Latino author to have won the Pulitzer Prize for his novel The Mambo Kings. So pretty big deal that I hadn't even heard about. And I was like, damn, this is like kind of crazy. Like, and it's also kind of telling that like, I didn't even know about that. And also it was late in the game for like a Latino author to win the Pulitzer Prize. It was like the 80s or something like that he like won that shit. The first Latino to have won the Pulitzer Prize.
Wow.
Yeah. And I also have another story. And maybe this isn't like, it's not like, it's like a personal story. My dad told me when he gave it to me that at one point, this is the Library of America collection, by the way. A really big fan of these books. And go for it.
Sorry.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. You're good.
Damn, only 8 years ago?
80 in the 80s.
80.
Not 80 years ago, but it was in the 80s.
I was like, holy shit.
No.
Anyway.
Based Kasdan. Yeah, this is the Library of America collection.
Ally.
And it's like a... Huh?
Ally.
Ally Kasdan. And these are... I really love these collections. They have like really great picks. And it's American authors that like they feel like should fit into this collection. It's kind of like the Criterion collection where they just like gather these things together and
culturally
like
significant.
Culturally significant, yeah, in some sense.
And maybe underrepresented or under noticed or whatever.
It's part of the story.
Oh, okay.
Watch this. So my dad, when he gave me this book, he said, a while back, I just like sent an email to the Library of America saying that like they should have more Latino authors represented in their catalog. And they got back to me and said, hi, Eusebio. There just aren't enough.
I'm like, I actually don't think you're looking hard enough.
I don't think you're looking hard enough, my guy. there are plenty. There's a lot of them.
There's a lot.
And this collection just came out in the last year.
So it's a collection of novels.
Collection of novels, yeah.
Okay.
There's 4 novels and then probably some like other prose in here as well. But yeah, no, I've in terms of Our House in the Last World, I've enjoyed what I've read. I've read maybe like a third of it so far, maybe a little more than a third, and it's really great. It's a multi-generational like story about like Cuban immigrants coming to America and like moving to New York or Miami and stuff like that.
You gotta read Monkey Hunting. That
Dude,
book
I know.
gave you.
I keep thinking about that.
Multi-generational Cuba's involved.
I always see that fucking book on my bookshelf, and like, you'd given it to me maybe like 2 years ago at this point or something like that. I'm like,
I mean, I'm not mad at you.
no, but I'm saying like I want to read it though. I'm saying, I'm like shit, I gotta read it. But it reminds me also a lot of at least in like the multi-generational aspect of it, The Brief Wondrous Life of Oscar Wilde. And I guess maybe like that's kind of like one of the only like similarities, aside from also it's like a Caribbean tale,
What about 100 Years of Solitude? Isn't that a multi-generational story?
Probably. I haven't read it.
Neither have I.
I've read a little bit of Marquez, but like not much more beyond his short stories, which I really loved. Eyes of a Blue Dog, great collection, great short story, one of the most moving pieces of like literature I've ever read. I read it first when I was like sitting around waiting to like go to like a party. I think it was Ollie's birthday last year. Okay. And I was just like, all right.
Oh, gin night or whatever.
Gin night, yeah.
Dude, those gin shots actually, my throat was like, after that.
When you saw me like stood in the corner, just like. Anyways, but I was like just sat there like reading, and I like read this like short story, and I was like moved to like tears almost, and I was like, I gotta go to this party in like 15 minutes. Like, what the fuck? What am I gonna do now? Anyways, that's what I've been reading. Our House in the Last World, great. I'm excited to check out the Mama Kings. I guess the full title is The Mama Kings Play Songs of Love. So excited to check that out.
Yeah, check it out.
Thanks, Dad.
So Homesick for Another World was my first off the checklist for my 2023 books read. Now I'm moving on to Fried Green Tomatoes at the Whistle Stop Cafe by Fanny Flagg. There's actually a movie based on this book that I've been watching since I was a kid. It's like a comfort movie to me. It's just called Fried Green Tomatoes. It doesn't have like the whole rest of the title. It's starring Kathy Bates and other people, among others. I can't remember, to be honest. Who's the old lady? Because she's like somebody. Hold on. I'm going to look it up real quick.
Kathy Bates.
Shut up. She's not an old lady in it. It was like the movie was made in like the 80s.
Oh. Yeah, I think there's a joke from How I Met Your Mother that says like, hey man, like trying to like get Barney to not hang out with him that night. And Ted calls him up and says, hey man, you want to come over? We're going to have a Kathy Bates movie marathon, but not Misery. You in? And he just hangs up.
I'm totally in. Like, I'm so in because we would watch Fried Green Tomatoes in that case. Jessica Tandy. Little old lady that was in Driving Miss Daisy, if you've ever seen that. She was in The Birds. Anyway, I love her. She plays a little old lady in it. It's like this little old lady like she's like framing it like she's talking about somebody else, but in the end it's like her life story. She's telling like her life story to the Kathy Bates character. It's just, it's sweet. It's Southern Comfort. I have it on my Southern Comfort movie list on Letterboxd. Follow me on Letterboxd at EmmaDanielle72, same as my Instagram handle. I make lots of lists because I think that's fun. I don't know. Anyway, so far I'm really enjoying like the food descriptions. Incredible, because they run a little cafe and it's like fried green tomatoes and barbecue and coleslaw and it's just like sweet tea and whatever.
Nice.
And then it's also told through like these it's very small little chapters, and it's like you'll get a little one that's like in the 80s. Whenever the Kathy Bates character is there, like at the old folks home talking to her, and then you'll get these stories that are set in like the 20s and 30s, and then some of them are just like little articles from the town newspaper from the 20s or 30s. Like, I don't know, it's really cute. It's cute. I'm enjoying the way it's like framed so far.
Nice.
I'm also like making an attempt to read Dune, but like haven't really made it that far with that. Gonna be honest, I fell off like almost immediately after attempting very hard to like try to read it like multiple times. I finally over winter break was like, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm going to read the entire appendix first. And that really helped. It helped me get into it, contextualize a lot of stuff. I was like, it was a little history lesson on the world of like Dune.
Taking notes and shit. Not really. I just like go back and check the appendix like every 2 seconds. But that helped me get into it. But then I started reading Homesick for Another World and Heartburn. And I just like, those were so much more fun to read. Yeah, I also read Heartburn by Nora Ephron. That was really funny and cute. Like, I really want to read more of her books because it was great. Anyway, so that's what's up with me. That's the media that I am consuming at the moment. I'm pretty much done as well. I've been pretty like, not too diligent in my consumption of media, which
It's
is a weird
okay.
thing
We've
to
been
say
busy.
because
We've been producing media, so like
we have been
It's fine.
creating that shit.
we're creating that shit, and whether it's this show or the Subletter show or,
Yeah. So
Life at the Mankheads show.
live at the Mankheads, February 4th. I'm gonna cheat. We're not doing music today, but I'm gonna do music because I a while back I went to Kansas City, visit my dad a little bit over Thanksgiving, and we went to this record shop, and came across this album by a band called Cat Scan, and the album is called In Nature. And I was like, oh, I kind of like the art of it, and it was like in like the staff pick section. I was like, okay, cool. And there was a little like sticky that had like a little description of it, and it said like, best way to describe this is a Discogs review that I found, and it was like a mix of Devo and parquet chords. I'm like, I love parquet chords. So I like took a listen to it on like Spotify, and I was like, oh, this fucking rocks. So I just want to bring it up because it may be one of my favorite art punk albums of the last like 5 years or something like that. And I just want to give this band and this album so much love because I like looked up their Instagram and like they're like super inactive and like don't do anything. Like I don't even know if they like play shows anymore or anything like that. And so I want to like give them some airtime, I guess. Even though I don't know how much me mentioning it on our little podcast is gonna do anything. I want to give it some love. That way, if the band is on hiatus or something like that, maybe this can get the ball rolling and they can come back and then come to Austin, please, because I'd really love to see you live.
You are loved.
You're loved. So yeah, that's another great album. That's about it for me.
Yeah.
Cool.
Thanks for joining us again this week. We'll be back probably with another movie review soon.
I believe so. We'll have some more movies coming up soon that we need to review. We'll probably have a good chunk coming out soon because we need to make our way through some of the Oscar noms. So yeah, that'll be coming up.
Yeah, thanks for tuning in. You can watch this on YouTube, on the Mankheads channel. You can follow us on Instagram at Mankheads Podcast, at Mankheads. You can also follow us on Twitter at Mankheads.
At Mankheads. Yeah. Go ahead and please, if you would, give us the highest rating you can on whatever you're listening to.
Like and subscribe, whatever the equivalent of that is, wherever you're watching or listening.
Just, give us some love and share also if you are enjoying what you're listening to. Share it around to some friends if you think they might enjoy what we talk about. Goes a long way. But yeah, that about does it for us.
All right, signing off.
Bye.